Stocks closed at session highs. Oil rose. The next president will inherit an economy at a crossroads. As for which candidate is most qualified, economist Stein doesn't think Donald Trump has a solid grasp on the way the economy works. But, says Stein, will still vote for him because he likes him. In an interview with The Guardian, Stein said, quote, "I don't think Trump knows a GD thing about economics. He is not a great businessman. He inherited a great deal of money. He did successful real estate deals. He is not a great businessman at all, in no way." Stein is with me now. All right, Ben, at the very least, we can say you do not mince words. Glad to have you here. If Trump does not have a concept, a stronghold on the economy, on how it works, why, as an economist, are you going to vote for him?
Well, I vote for people based on many things. I think he's much better on national defense. He said he's going to greatly raise spending on national defense. I think that's extremely important. He has a very confident, proud attitude about being an American. I think that's extremely important. I think the main reason I feel like I'm going to vote for him is because he has all these thugs and gangsters demonstrating at these rallies and trying to intimidate him and intimidate the people who support him. That's not democracy. That's not America. I don't think we should be swayed by a bunch of gangsters throwing rocks at policemen's horses. I'd like to support the candidate that they're throwing the rocks at.
So what if there were no protesters? Would you vote for him?
I'm not sure. If he were greeted in a respectful way, maybe yes, maybe no. I went to law school with Hillary Clinton, and I like her perfectly fine, although she's running this nauseatingly cloying series of commercials here in California, which features a little baby Hispanic girl crying and running to Hillary for reassurance that her parents aren't going to be
deported. Yeah, but she's spending $1 million there because she may get scooped by Sanders.
Well, she may be, but the idea of Hillary presenting herself as a caring mother is a bad joke. So and it's silly. It's just a ridiculous joke. But I think Hillary is experienced. I think she knows quite a lot. I don't like the way she's behaved in many instances. But I don't think she's going. I think she will be a third term of Obama, if I may say so. And by the way, why is nobody asking this question? If the Democrats have all these great ideas about how to fix America and how to fix the economy, why haven't they done them yet? They've had 8 years. Why haven't they done them yet?
So I want to ask you, Ben, as far as economic advisors, if Donald Trump, so you're planning to vote for Donald Trump, but if you say that's one area where he needs support, is there somebody that he could name as an economic advisor where you'd say, you know what, that's going to work out pretty nicely for everybody?
Well, I mean, the ones I know and respect are pretty darn old by now, but I think that, first of all, the smartest man in the world at this point is, by far, Warren Buffett. He's a Democrat, but he's a patriot, and I think he would give Mr. Trump very good advice. He is not an economist either, by the way. He's a very, very, very successful businessman. Greenspan, he's quite old by now, but I think he would give good advice. There's a very elderly economist named Paul McCracken. I'm not sure he's still with us. He may not be able to give good advice if he's not still with us, unless we use a medium at a seance. But we have a great shortage of good Republican economists. That's unfortunate. The virus of supply side has infected a great many on the Republican side.
Well, Ben, be careful. Your name might get tossed in the hat. We might just write it in, you know. I wanted to ask you, though.
Well, go ahead, toss it in.
Toss it in. All right. Make sure that gets escalated. You mentioned...
I already have an apartment in Washington, so I could go there anytime.
Okay. Good to know. Now, you mentioned, because earlier we were talking about Donald Trump and his comments, his concerns about the judge that is hearing the Trump University case. You told me you have an opinion on this, and I want to know what it is. I
have a very strong opinion. Like Mrs. Clinton, I went to Yale Law School. The basis of what we learned at Yale Law School is that the law is not a brooding omnipresence in the sky. It's not some mysterious divine thing brought down by Moses off Mount Sinai. The law is what the judges say it is. They're as biased as anyone else. They're human beings. They have biases and prejudices. I think it's incredible that a judge who's clearly in La Raza, or at least apparently was appointed to be in charge of this case. I don't know why Trump's lawyers haven't moved to get him off the case.
That is a big question, Ben.
Can control the judges. It is a big question. Judges' personal opinions control everything. There was no basis in law for Roe versus Wade. It was just clearly the biases of the people on the court. The bias of the people on the court decide everything. and it's very scary to think of what Mrs. Clinton would do on the court if she were nominated. And by the way, this has gone on forever since the days of John Marshall.
So, Ben, let me ask you before I let you go, what do you think of fellow Republicans saying then, given your opinion, that Donald Trump is wrong, and some even saying he should apologize?
Well, I think that person is mistaken, and I'm sure he or she is a fine human being, but clearly doesn't know much about how judges make law. I mean, judges make law based largely on what they had for breakfast that day, how they like the looks of the counsel, and in very large measure their political philosophies. It's a very personal thing. Lawyers are not immune to being human beings, and neither are judges.
Ben Stein, we are always glad for your spirited conversation. Thank you.
Well, it's an honor to be here. Thank you.
Thank you, sir. Economist and author Ben Stein.